Welcome to Movie Night with the Boys.
Hi, I'm John,
And I'm Zach.
and we have a guest today.
What's up, everybody? I am SG Iceman.
And tell him what you do.
Oh yeah, I am a YouTuber at SG Iceman. Um, I am a gamer. You feel me? That's about it.
What kind of content do you make?
Uh, Mostly anything. You feel me? Anything that is current. uh, if there's any old games that anybody would like for me to play, or if you go to my content and you find something that you have interest in, just let me know, comment, and subscribe, and that's about it. And leave a like.
So that's SG X Iceman
Yes, sir.
on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
There you
Is
go.
that the same on Twitch? Do you have a Twitch?
It is Iceman 311151. It's not SG Iceman. I messed it up. You know, trying to.
We're
You feel
gonna
me?
put it in the
Uh,
discussion notes and everything, so when people look at the description of the episode, they'll see your handles all there.
For sure. Okay, so let's get into it.
What are we talking about tonight, Zach? What are we talking about?
All right, so tonight's movie, we chose The One. It's a 2001 movie. James Wan directed it. It's starring Jet Li, Delroy Lindo, Jason Statham, and Carla Gugino. And Jet Li, he played two of the essentially the main characters. And so he played Gabe Law, who was the cop, and I'm going to refer to him as the cop when I'm talking about the good guy, right? And then he also played Gabriel Ulaw, who's the criminal. And so I'm going to refer to him as criminal, like criminal, because I'm going to say criminal Jet and cop Jet, right?
all right.
So then Delroy Lindo, he played Agent Rodecker, and he also played a gas station attendant, right?
Yep.
So we'll get into that. Jason Statham played Agent Funch. Funch? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Do you remember how to pronounce it?
I think it was probably.
Okay. And then Carla, she played TK Law, who's the wife, and I'll refer to her as the wife. And she also played Massey Walsh, who I will refer to as the redhead.
You sound
All
like
right.
you designed this to be like a game of Clue.
No, it's just that I couldn't figure out how to differentiate some of them, so I
Yeah,
just
well,
was
that
like,
that that bears explaining, and that's what you're about to get into.
basically, right? So, and then yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's directed by James Wan. I'm not really too big with directors and whatnot, so
I believe
that's
he did
kind of
Aquaman, didn't he?
he did. That's basically all I know him from. So yeah. So The One. Okay, so let's get into basically just the synopsis of the movie, right? So the movie starts off with the narrator. He's explaining the multiverse and about traveling between uh, the different like dimensions, the multiverse, and it's highly restricted and policed, right? Basically that's what the background is for these dimension cops. I'm also going to refer to them as dimension cops. um, so yeah, um, Okay. So the narrator also continues and says, there was balance. Now someone wants to destroy said balance to become the one. Right.
Yeah.
And so at
Oh,
this,
he did it. He said it. Oh my god, he said it.
and so basically at this point, we don't know what the hell the one is, like,
Yeah, it was
did,
fairly cryptic.
right? So, yeah, and then basically it just jumps into the movie. It starts off um, in a prison. These prison guards are getting ready. Uh, they're super armored up, like it's like a super max, like super max prison. We
Yeah.
don't know. Um,
Had some gangster ass weapons.
oh yeah, it was crazy. Like
They
It
got
is
fucking
those
guns and shit. It was wild.
yeah, like
Did you
and
notice
then
who the lead cop was?
yeah, I don't know him by name, but I do recognize him from a lot of stuff. Yeah.
That's Dean Norris, and he played Hank Schrader in Breaking Bad. He was the brother in the
Oh, the brother, the cop. Yeah.
hasn't
And he,
changed a bit.
well, did you see the guy that he was with, right? Like the Asian guy,
Yep,
right? That guy's actually the blue Time Force Ranger from Power Rangers Time Force.
I did not know that.
What? Didn't know
Yep. Yep. Come on, leave it to me to know
that.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, you, man.
Right? So like these, I thought they were prison guards, but then their vests said police on it. So I was like, okay, so I guess this is like the police are doing a prison transfer. So they're walking down the halls, heading towards the cell, and all the prisoners are just screaming. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
like fuck you and blah blah blah. Like you're gonna die, lawless, and all this shit. And at this point, we're like, who the hell is lawless? Right? So they keep going, and they really like apparently like everybody just hates this lawless guy, right?
I'm imagining he was just like a blatant killer or something.
Yeah, I don't know because like he was like there was guys in prison. He was like, you're gonna get like what you deserve for doing whatever to our crew.
And then
And I was
tried to
like,
kill him, bro.
Well, they
yeah,
tried to kill him, but what Dean Norris said to him was, you're going down tonight," or something like that. But then immediately after, he said, "But it's not gonna be here," or something like that.
yeah. So they were like sending him upstate. I'm assuming maybe to kill him or
He
Yeah.
must
whatnot.
have been going for
Like
Put
it.
him in a
this,
chair or something.
yeah, and like at this point, I guess we wouldn't really know this, but like this universe is just a regular universe, right? Like it has nothing to do with the Dimension Police or anything like that. So they must be just sending him upstate to just to
Yeah,
kill him,
yeah, that's
you
what
know?
it sounded like.
Yeah. So they're walking him out, and some guy tries to stab him, right? He ends up
Threw a
kicking the
shard
bar.
of glass at him, didn't he?
What?
He threw like a shard of glass at him.
No. That's later. So they stabbed him, but he had the vest on, so it didn't do anything. And then he kicked the bars and
Oh,
dented
that's
those
right.
bars, and kind of showed that like, oh, this guy's strong as fuck. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So basically, they keep going. They get outside, and Jet Li all of a sudden goes, "Huh, something's not right."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, bang, shot in the head. Right?
Yeah.
I was
Threw
like,
the
okay.
bulletproof glass, like, straight in the face.
Oh yeah, right. But like it seemed like none of the armor that any of those guys wore did anything because every time they got shot,
Because he
right?
fell off. He fell out.
You know what I mean?
Those
Right?
intergalactic weapons, I tell you, man.
Useless armor. It's just useless.
No, but he was using like a Glock. Like it was a regular Glock. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like I know he's special, but like that doesn't enhance his bullets.
Clearly
Yeah.
enhanced. He's like
It must.
throwing the gun when he takes the shot. It puts extra velocity behind it.
I guess, right? So basically, he kills Jet Li. Jet Li's dead. And
Turns out he's
all,
Jet Li.
hold on, and then all the cops start shooting up the ventilation where the shot came from. Right? They didn't hit nothing.
Waste the bullet.
Apparently, right? Apparently, there's
The
barbed
bullet-
wire inside of the ventilation, so he shouldn't be able to move around in there,
Yeah.
right? Yada yada yada. They get close. Bang bang bang. He kills those 3 guys. Drops down. Fucks up everybody else. Actually, no, I don't think he killed anybody else.
No, he shot them.
Yeah. He definitely shot
No,
them.
no, 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 no. He dropped down and he just beat the crap out of everybody, right?
Well,
And then
yeah,
when he
if
He
you took a
reached up
fist,
in the air and grabbed whatever he did. I think he like
he
took
like
his power or
almost
something.
no,
didn't-
he dropped down. They started shooting at him. He jumped off the wall, came down, kicked the dead body at the guy, right?
I mean, if
And
you hit a
and then he
motherfucker, another
and then he beat them all up, and then they're all on the ground. And then so then after that he goes to leave, right? And somebody gets up and shoots at him, and he does one of those back shots, bang, right?
He had all of them in slow motion, like he was Flash or something.
Yeah, it was like it's very very inconsistent. I didn't understand that, but yeah. So then the guy just starts running. He just starts running. All the cops jump in their cars. They try and get him, right? So he's running through the streets. I'm assuming it's L.A. because the
yeah,
next
they
dimension.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
The next dimension takes place in LA and he works in essentially the same prison, right?
Yeah.
So he's running through the streets of LA.
Cops said he was
And
going
then,
50 miles per hour.
oh,
Yeah.
bro, that was ridiculous. He's running down the street and he's like, "Yo, that guy's doing 50." And I was like, "What? Like, really, bro? Like,
He wasn't even going
come on.
fast.
Like, is 50
Meanwhile,
that
those
fast?"
cops can't catch him.
Right? Like, that's what I mean. He was only going 50. You telling me the cop cars can't go faster than that?
Cop cars go faster than that bullshit.
Right?
Maybe not
So,
in that dimension.
yeah. And then all of a sudden, these 2 random guys show up in a muscle car and they want to kill this and Jason Statham is one of them and he wants to kill the dude. He's like, "Let me kill him." And then, Delroy, he's like, No, that's against protocol." So they end up chasing him to this.
That's not how we do-
Sorry?
He says that's not how we do things.
Yeah, some nonsense like that. I would have just killed his ass, but whatever the case may be. Well, I mean, I guess they had their reasons. They did have their reasons for not killing him.
If the world could
Plus,
implode.
they're like not space cops. They're like time cops, so they have rules also.
Yeah, they're like dimension cops,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Dimension cops.
Yeah, right. So, basically, they chase him. He ends up in a backyard. So, basically, Jason Statham and Delroy they split up, and Jason Statham follows Jet Li into the back, and I think he like hacks like the time portal or something,
Yeah,
right?
he
Because
hacked his watch.
Yeah,
He hacked his watch in
yeah,
case he was trying to get
he
away.
changed the location of where he was going.
yeah. So change the location back to the time space, whatever, or the time bureau. That's what I'm going to call it. And basically, then goes and confronts Jet Li. Then all of a sudden, Delroy comes driving through a house and hits Jet Li, and then they all get sucked back into the time, like into the
That shit was weird, bro. Like their body
yeah.
parts turned to fucking particles and shit.
I have to say, like, the effects of this movie was not the greatest, but I really did enjoy when like every single time they got sent to a new dimension. I really did enjoy that, like their faces and like the acting. But I don't know if you noticed, but they never showed Delroy's face. Like it was only Jason Statham and Jet Li. It's like Delroy almost didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? That crazy like shaking stuff,
Yeah.
right? So they end up basically they end up back in the time or the distortion bureau or whatever, the dimension bureau, and they arrest Jet Li. They put him in prison, and then Delroy, he comes through and he's talking to Jet Li, and apparently he's killed. How many did he kill? It was like
123.
123
Versions
of
of
himself.
himself. That's crazy.
Versions of himself from different dimensions. So he's hopped 123 different dimensions killing himself.
Which, by the
Right.
way, indicates there's actually not an infinite number of universes, but in fact 125.
Exactly. Right. So So Delroy's talking to him, and basically he did all those kills within a 2-year span.
Yep.
That's what I got out of it, and I was
Do you
like,
remember what the reason was?
no, what?
He got a taste because he was Delroy's partner.
Oh, he was
He ended up
okay.
he confronted himself in another universe, killed him, and then he realized he got stronger, smarter, faster.
Yeah, but that isn't relayed until later on in the movie by Jason,
Yeah.
right?
By the way, this has striking similarity to Highlander.
I don't remember Highlander, so
Highlander was the McGregor movie.
okay.
It was,
So then
oh my
the
god.
next So then the next thing is he's in jail. Then they're gonna go basically send him to this prison dimension,
The
right?
Hades.
Yeah, right. The penal, some kind of penal
It's a
colony or
penal,
whatever.
it's a penal colony.
Yeah,
Basically a prison dimension, yeah.
basically, right. So he's sitting in the chair. He's talking shit to everybody. The Then they panel over to the this redhead. She's walking in. She looks super suspicious, but she sits down, and just before they're about to transfer the guy, the redhead, swipes her finger at the back of her shoe, and this mouse with literally something stuck up its ass. I feel really bad for that mouse. Um, and that mouse had giant nuts too. I don't know if you've seen that, if you noticed that, but like,
Did you miss when we were looking for the end of the antenna?
bro, it was messed up, bro. That antenna was right up that mouse's ass, bro.
It was
Like,
only two places that antenna could have been. It was either stuck up one end or the other.
they could have just not had the antenna at all. They could have just had the rat walk up and then explode. You don't need to
Or
explain
they could have
that.
put it as a collar, you know.
Well, whatever, man. The bomb could be inside. That does the whatever, man. Y'all are messed up. So basically, the rat explodes. Jet Li gets out of his restraints. I think he beats up some people. Then he kills some people. Then he goes and changes the coordinates, I guess, for the teleporter, and then ends up teleporting to wherever he wanted to go, right? And the redhead lady blows him a kiss as he starts screaming because he's being dematerialized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Right?
I still think is a really cool visual.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
it's pretty
It
cool.
is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool visual. Definitely.
All right. So then we jump to the new dimension, and it essentially starts off the exact same way, right? With all the cops getting ready, they walk down the hall. People are yelling, but they're not saying lawless this time. So you're kind of like,
Did you catch the different presidents?
yeah. And oh, but also too, if you notice, it said George Bush for um, what was it, worldwide healthcare or something
No,
like that?
universal health care.
Yeah,
Universal
you
healthcare.
okay.
Did he actually do that?
No,
No.
No, no. But did he
no.
actually like ever say that he was going to?
I don't.
No.
Maybe. I
Okay.
think it was supposed to be implied that that was the main universe that
Difference.
this
Yeah.
would be from, because Al
Okay. Yeah.
Gore
Yeah.
never stood a fucking chance of
Ye-
being president.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. He. Well. Yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Al Gore was president in the first universe that we were in, right? So we get to this new universe. Everything's pretty much the same. They walk down the halls. They get to the cell, and then all of a sudden you see Jet Li is the cop. Like he's the head cop instead of being the prisoner, right?
And then
So they
instead of
take the prison.
oh, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said
Go ahead.
instead of them, instead of the instead of somebody getting hit with the blade, he caught the blade with his with his freaking
Yeah,
the two fingers.
right, he did.
Yeah, right. So yeah, so they go to bring the prisoner basically into the garage, and somebody throws a knife. He catches it like a badass. So you're like, oh, this guy's pretty, pretty badass. At this point, I think we have a slight idea that he gets more powerful the more people die, but I don't think we realize that it's split up between all the different Jet Lis,
Yes.
right? At this point, we only know that this one Jet Li who's trying to kill this other one is enhanced, right?
And we know that this one's the only other one.
Yeah. So then basically, they get out into the garage again, and Jet Li once again says, "This doesn't feel right." And the criminal, he ends up taking a shot at the cop, Jet Li, and he actually ends up dodging it, kind of, or he misses, something like that, right? So they end up, shooting up the ventilation again, and Buddy stays in there, and then he shoots, like, one of his buddies gets shot. Like I said, that's the Power Ranger. The Power Ranger, he gets shot, and so then Jet Li runs over, jumps in a prison van, crashes it into the ventilation, and then they come face to face with each other, right? And the cop, Jet Li's like you could see it in his face. He's like, "What the like?
Yeah,
What
he
the
didn't.
hell?
He
That's
couldn't
me."
believe he was looking at him.
Yeah. And the criminal's like, "Hi," right? And then he starts taking off again, right? So, so all the cops go and start chasing him, and then Jet Li starts chasing the criminal Jet Li on foot, and he's able to keep up with him. And basically, they left all the cops behind in their cars, and they get to this wall, right? And the criminal Jet Li, he jumps right up over. He's over it. So then the other Jet Li's like, "Oh, I guess maybe I could do that." Tries, and he barely grabs onto the top of the wall. But here's where I had a problem. That's not how barbed wire works. That guy was rolled all the way.
He
He would have been
rolled over
tangled
the
up.
barbed wire, bro.
You know what I mean? He would have been tangled up in that shit. That makes no sense, right? Like, what kind of fake ass barbed wire you have covering, you know what I mean? A prison wall. It's a prison. Like, that's the wall for the prison.
Facts. And he got armor on,
Yeah,
though. He has armor
it
on.
was that dimension.
What?
It's just that dimension. How
Oh,
that dimension
Jesus.
works.
But
That was terrible.
the crazy thing is the two normal guys hopped on the same wall and they had no armor on and they wasn't bothered by the barbed wire.
I'm
Well,
sure they.
yeah, exactly. Right? So the other Jet Li, the cop gets over the wall. The other one's like, "You're not crazy," and then shoots him. And then all of a sudden, the Dimension Police show up, and the criminal Jet Li runs away. Right? Then, you know, um, so yeah, then basically we jump to Jet Li. He's returning home, the cop, right? Then you see his wife is the same lady as the redhead, right?
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, that's so maybe in most of these dimensions they're like meant to,
Married.
you know what I mean? But that's not the case because stated later on. And so basically his wife's like, "Oh, you should still be at the hospital, yada yada yada." And he's like, "Yeah, no." And then she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go." And he's like, "Okay, well, let me just do this." And then he goes in and he starts training in his little training room, I guess. Which I want a room that I can just do kung fu in. That'd be pretty
Pretty
sweet.
great.
This distance between 2 points is a straight line was the thing that he said the first time he saw him.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
and it
kind
shows.
of looks like you don't need that much space because he doesn't need.
No, because like they're using like specific techniques and stuff, right? That's just small circles.
And plus, he's small.
Um,
He's a small dude, bro.
yeah, he's not the biggest guy. Yeah, so then basically the next scene they end up going to the hospital, right? Jet Li, you see the Power Ranger. He seems like he's okay. I'm pretty sure he just got shot in the shoulder. So, but he's very irrelevant.
Yep.
So then Jet Li goes. He has to go get an MRI, and then just so happens, as soon as he gets in the MRI machine, the criminal shows up, right? And the criminal starts threatening the dude, and then all of a sudden, the Dimension Police show up, and then there's just a gunfight, right, in the middle of the hospital, and the cops like don't even show up for quite a long time. They end up in the room with Jet Li and like the cop Jet Li, and cop Jet Li is like hiding behind stuff, right? He has no clue what the hell's going on. Then I believe the criminal Jet Li just goes and takes off, right? And then the two dimension police, they chase after him, and so the evil, or the criminal, he gets seen on the camera, right?
Kicking
And
a
then
freaking doctor to a wall.
it was a security
Oh
guard,
yeah, facts.
right?
It was
Kicks
scary, guy.
kicks the security guard into the wall, runs out. They see him do that on camera.
No,
Then
he shot him.
no, yeah, he shot him. Yeah,
He
my bad.
shot him with that much force out of a regular goddamn gun.
Yeah. It was, like I said, this guy uses a Glock, so like I don't understand, but um,
Man,
but yeah, so basically runs out. They see him on camera. The two distortion police, or whatever the hell they're called, they chase after him, right? And basically they like dodge the camera so nobody sees them, like is like follow after him, and they try and wait to see, like, the wife is like, "Oh, just wait," and Jet Li takes way too long to get dressed. Is all I'm gonna say. Like, and his wife was like, "Yeah, screw that. I'm just gonna," you know what I mean. And then she leaves to go try and find him, right? So then next it cuts to the cop Jet Li, but at this point you have no idea who the hell, which version it is, because for some reason he goes and decides to dress in the exact same outfit as the guy who was trying to kill him, right? So he's in all black. The criminal Jet Li's in all black, right? Nobody knows who the hell is who. It makes absolutely no sense, right? So then his cop buddies are like, pull their guns on him, and he's like, I don't want to hurt you guys, like, da 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 da. And the cops are like, say my name. And Jet Li's like, I ain't gonna say your name. And so then they try and arrest him, and he just kicks the shit out of them all, right? And then he bounces, and his wife is like, go home, right? So so then from there, basically, we jump to the two dimension police, right? And they're doing their little back and forth, and then Delroy pulls out this little like anal bead looking thing, and he's like, okay, let's sync this up. Let's like sync your watch to my anal bead, okay? So he presses the button, they start
Hold on.
blinking.
Hold on. Before you fucking keep going. For anyone who's actually listening to this right now, it's not a fucking anal bead. It's a bomb.
Well, they call it a resetter.
Yeah, because it resets fucking him. It's not a fucking anal bead. Good God, man.
Just let me do my story, okay?
Clarify.
All right.
There's gonna be some people like, what are we listening to?
Well, I mean, they should have watched the movie before they watched this, so
Yeah, I suppose.
right, that's on them, bro.
We watched
Like
the same
when
movie
I
as the
say,
Power Rangers that I read.
right? So now I'm lost. Okay, so they sync up their stuff, right? He syncs up the bomb to Jason's watch, right? And I guess if the bomb goes off, it'll tell him. And then, so with that being said, they decide that, okay, if the bomb goes off, you're going to have to go and kill the other dude, right? The cop, right? Because there can't be only just one. We don't know what's going to happen. Da 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 da. He might become a god. So let's kill him. Let's kill them both and just get rid of them both, right? Um, what, sorry?
Logical.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So they split up, right? Jason Statham steals a muscle car, starts following this ambulance, right? The ambulance apparently drops off Buddy at a train station or something. I don't know what the hell it was. And he basically confronts, Jet Li, and then basically starts explaining everything to him. Explains who, the criminal is and what the hell is going on, right? Explaining the whole one person concept, and it's also explaining it to us as well, right? So we get that whole lowdown. He kills himself, he gains their energy, right? But at this point we didn't realize that. Well, we should realize now, but all the energy is, instead of being going into the person who killed him, it's divided between all the other versions of himself, right? And then also at the same point, there's a lot of like it keeps switching back and forward between Delroy and criminal Jet Li, which you see him. They're driving in a van. Delroy's in the back of the van somehow, pulls a gun on him. So then the criminal's just like, okay, crashes the car, right? Gets out and starts beating the crap out of Delroy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Solid
Beat the
plan.
snot out of him, bro. Jesus.
But like you gotta say, like at the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, this man's holding his own. This old fucking guy's holding his own. And then all of a sudden, his foot got stomped into the ground, and I was like, okay, it's over. Right? And then he just beat the crap out of him. So then the old man goes, pulls out his anal bead, and he's about to, click it, make the bomb go off. And Jet Li apparently is the Flash all of a sudden, just grabs the bomb, disarms it, pulls out the explosive, and then triggers the red thing that I guess because he used to work for them, so he knows how this technology works.
Yeah,
So triggers it so Jason Statham's watch goes off. So then Jason Statham will end up killing, the cop. But then I don't know why Jason Statham's like, oh, I need your help. Like he goes to the cop and he's like, instead of killing him, he goes, I need your help. And it's just like, wait,
Why'd
what
you
do you
put a gun
mean?
on him for?
Well, no, because he was supposed to go and kill him, but then all of a sudden he got up to him and he's like, I need your
I
help.
think
But he's
it
like,
was a realization. I think when he got up to Jet Li, Jet Li presented himself in such of a way that he didn't look or sound or feel in any way changed, and that was kind of
oh, I didn't even. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he didn't like get the power up. That makes sense. I didn't really even. I didn't even realize that. Okay,
yeah.
good eye, good eye. All right, so yeah, basically they team up. So then they end up leaving. Jet Li. So the criminal Jet Li, takes the bomb with him. He's starting to walk away. A cop rolls up, pulls a gun on him. Say, you know what I
And
mean?
two biker
You
cops
know,
came behind.
yeah, two biker cops show up, and Jet Li fucking Flash runs over to them again. All of a sudden, now he's got super speed. Um,
They knocked
punches
him off the
punches the
bikes.
no. He punches the two bikes. Right, the other two the biker cops go flying in the air. He jumps up, kicks the shit out of them. Right, lands on the ground, grabs the motorcycles again, and
Cops.
sandwiches his ass with the motorcycles. Right, like
Edge and Christian style from WWE. He gave that dude a straight up bike toe.
Yeah, it was quite ridiculous.
Ridiculous understatement. He was basically Goku for that entire scene.
A mini Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So then next scene we get back to the cop's house. Right. His wife's there, and all Buddy's like cop friends are escorting her home. Right. They go in and they're like, okay, we have to check the house and make sure he's not here, because at this point everybody thinks that the cop is the bad guy killing all these people, right? So they check the house, and the wife's like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom or whatever. So they go upstairs, and she notices like blood in the sink. She sees some broken glass on the ground. So she's like, yeah, I need some privacy. So the cop's just like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll be right outside.
Anywhere further in your bedroom to just see if he might be in the closet or something.
Yeah, right. So then, the wife goes, opens the attic up, and boom, you see Jet Li's face, right? And he gives her the spiel, and she's like, "I need a weapon." Da 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 da. Right? So she's like, "Okay." She goes and she grabs a weapon out of her underwear drawer, and for some reason, she like looks out the window, and all of a sudden she sees another Jet Li crawling across the roof, right? So basically, she takes the gun, and the criminal Jet Li, who is in the attic, goes, "Hey, what's wrong?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just closing the blinds." And so she walks over and she goes, "Would you have changed any?" She said something about their first meeting.
Who would have thought when we met in the bookstore that things would have turned out like this.
Yeah, right. So, so then she's like, and he said,
says,
"Oh,
he implies that it was,
he would have walked." He said something like, "I would have came in regardless," or something like that.
yeah,
And then she points the gun at him. She's like, We met at the clinic,
yep.
right?" So, so basically, Jet Li's like, "I'm gonna kill you before you have a chance to pull the trigger." So then she screams for the cop. Jet Li takes the gun, shoots the cop, right? Grabs the wife, right? Then I'm assuming because they can feel each other, they walk up to the window and he's holding the wife, and the cop Jet Li's in the yard looking up at him.
Shoots the
And
wife
so
in
he
the
ends
back.
up shoots her, just kills her. Boom, dead. Right? I was like, okay, that's fucking stupid. But
Called fridging, my friend.
what?
Called fridging.
I guess. And then the cops show up to the room and they're like, freeze, drop the gun. He drops the gun. Then he fucking jumps out the window. But you're telling me those cops didn't see him on the fucking roof? So then they look outside, they see the cop. They look outside, they see the cop. And then all of a sudden, they start shooting at the cop, right? I think it looks like he gets hit in the arm, but I'm not too sure what's going on with that because it's never brought up again, right? Starts running down the street. Now the cop is being chased again because now they think he killed his wife and I'm assuming the captain or whatever, the gray haired dude, right? They're sheriffs also. They're not police in this one. Well, I mean, they're police, but they're sheriffs. And then, so yeah, so then Jason Statham shows up while he's running down the street, picks up Jet Li, and they drive to a random gas station, right? Where in all their talks, you find out that they met because that dog in the beginning of the movie that we forgot to mention, but he has a pet dog. That dog got hit by a car. He took the dog into the clinic. That's where they met. That's their meet cute. Blah, 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 right? Explains all his, love drama. He's upset and he just wants to murder the guy, right? So then Jason Statham's like, all right, cool. Let's kill this dude then. And at the same time, he's like, well, maybe we should take him in and not kill the world. You don't know what's going to happen when there is only one of you left, right? And Jet Li is like, whatever. So they start playing with their guns, and Jet Li's like, are you going to give me a gun? And Jason Statham's like, no. And he's like, well, then, and he goes and kicks a pole, and the pole comes down, and then all of a sudden the gas attendant's like, hey, what the hell? And it turns out that the gas attendant is this dimension's, agent, like Delroy. You know what I mean? And it's what?
Agent Elroy.
Whatever, you know what I mean? It's Delroy, right? So yeah, so Delroy comes out and yeah, so basically, yeah, so then they leave like they literally make some bullshit ass plan that we don't hear about. They leave, they end up in I don't know, what would you call this place? Like it was what, like
I would
a
call it the exact same place that they produced Ivan Ooze's Ooze.
yeah, like it was some kind of like
It was a boiler.
gas or water,
At the end,
del-
it was a little bit
delivery
further
place.
along. It looked
Can I
like
point out?
green.
Can I point out that he went to a gas station and never got gas? Because
No, that
He got gas.
yeah,
he
no,
got
they didn't
gas.
get gas.
Oh,
No, he got
God.
gas. He was back. So
We
those
did.
Mustangs, it was a Mustang. It was an older muscle car.
I don't remember
He
him getting gas, but
because he was putting it in the back, and it might
Oh,
have
okay.
been the back of the gas tank entry over there. By the way, you did glaze over something completely irrelevant, or at least to this particular scene.
oh,
Um,
definitely.
you completely missed the whole part where Jason Statham tells random gas station Delroy that he's gonna make things right and he's gonna do things the right way.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Thank
said
you, sir. Permission to speak, sir, and then thank you for teaching me the right way.
yeah, right. So yeah, whatever.
He's like, what did I
That was
teach?
lame as shit.
$4.99 for cigarettes.
Yeah, man. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
So-
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so they end up in this big ass boiler room. Whatever. There's a whole bunch of pipes. They're full of shit. Who knows? I don't know how. But that's the other thing. I don't know how they tracked him there. That's the other thing. They, all of a sudden they knew where he fucking was, so they followed him there. What?
He felt him.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they drove around L.A. and he's like, "Oh, I have a feeling." Like, get out of here.
By the one sense is tingling.
Sure. Tingling is dingling.
Oh, God.
So yeah. So basically, they're walking. They see Buddy Jason Statham start shooting at him. With his big ass gun, big ass pistol gun, and
Bloody
they
bullet.
don't. He doesn't hit shit, right? Even though the gun has auto lock on. The fucking gun has auto lock on built in. What?
It's stormtrooper aim.
Oh, it's terrible, right? This role should have been. It could have been played by any Joe Schmo, and it would have been fine because Jason Statham did nothing Jason Statham-y in this movie.
This was before Jason Statham cut off all of his hair. He became Jason Statham.
Well, he did, yes. He also did have hair. So basically, they chase him through the building, and then all of a sudden, Jason Statham's watch starts blinking. So you realize, oh, the fucking evil guy set up the bomb. So they jump for cover. He says, "Jump down, don't breathe for 20 seconds or some shit." That's not explained. I have no idea why you can't breathe for 20 seconds after the fucking bomb goes off. Why you can breathe during it going off, but not after it going off, makes no sense to me. So he hides. Then the bomb goes off. He's fine. He calls out for, the cop. No answer from the cop. So Jason's just like, whatever, ends up leaving, going to look for fucking the criminal Jet Li. You know what I mean? So then from there, he finds him, and the criminal Jet Li ends up beating the shit out of him and breaking his leg. But doesn't break his leg because Buddy's able to walk on it. So I don't know what he did to his leg, but you heard a crack and he screamed and fell down. Then the gun gets knocked away, right? Falls, into some bullshit. Jason Statham gets kicked over the railing onto the stairs, and then boom, the cop shows up, right? So now they're facing off against each other. There's a back and forth. They're fighting. You see they're two different fighting styles. They're both kung fu, but they're using two different styles. And they have quite the shitty face off, right? The fight scenes in this movie were garbage, but yeah, so they fight, the cop wins, ends up, bringing, instead of killing the criminal, brings him over to Jason Statham, and there's some kind of explosion, and the cop ends up getting caught up with Jason Statham and the criminal Jet Li, and all three of them ended up getting transported back to Time Force Base, right? The Dimensional Police Headquarters.
Yeah.
And as soon as they get there, the cops roll into the room, grab one of the Jet Li. One Jet Li's like, it's him. So they all of a sudden they're like, okay, grab that dude, throw him in the chair, right? And it's like,
no question asked. He's hit.
Right? Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. And the guy's having having a seizure. So clearly looks like it's his first time going through this kind of thing.
Oh, this is the guy that's never done this before. Clearly. He's
right?
the one.
He could talk and all that shit. Yeah, right? So they grab him, put him in the chair. Jason Statham's like, hold on a second. Walks up, sees that, the cop had a ring, a tan from where his ring used to be, right? And he's like, hold on, that's not the guy, right? Pulled Trunks from Dragon Ball, hold on, don't shoot. He's not black, right? Moment in this, and basically, can you stop laughing at me, please?
You just made an out of context joke. I mean, it's not
it's a Dragon Ball Z reference, okay?
I know, but the way you said it. If you don't know what Dragon Ball Z is, and someone who's never seen that show, you just said, "Don't shoot him. He's not black."
That's what Trunks said.
I know, but
If we had a good editor, I would get him to edit that clip into the video.
You're the editor, so I guess you're not saying you're a good.
Exactly.
All right, carry on.
Okay. So basically, the other thing that doesn't make sense to me is why are they so weak? So he says that's not him. So they grab the other one and put him in the chair, and you see him like struggling, but it's like we just seen this man super strong squishing people with motorcycles, but he can't get away from these two dudes.
My suspicion there is that he is still recovering from the trans.
Oh, but Jason Statham could fucking basically run with a broken leg over and say, no, that's not him. But the superhuman can't fucking recover.
Well, he also was just getting his ass beat right before that too. So.
Again, superhuman, heals quick and everything, so he should have been able to recover. That's besides the point. They get him in the chair. They send him off to, the Hades universe, planet, whatever. And, the criminals are like, hey, you're my bitch. And he's like, I don't think so. He's like, you're my bitch. Right? He's like, I will be the one. He has this whole little spiel, and then everybody starts attacking him because he basically called everybody bitches, right? And so now he's basically just fighting on a hill as the camera zooms out, right? And then right? That's the end of the movie, but I accidentally skipped a part. So then they go and they want to get rid of the cop Jet Li, right? And Jason Statham's like, so they want to send him back to his own dimension, right? Where he's wanted. Everybody thinks he killed his wife and a couple of people, right? And Jason Statham's like, you can't do that. Yada yada yada. He's wanted, all this crap. And so they're like, well, too bad. He's he shouldn't be here, so let's just get rid of him. And Jason Statham's like, whatever, man. And then as they're putting in the coordinations to send him somewhere, Jason Statham steps in and is like, hold on, hold on a second.
Where he belongs.
And then, yeah, I know where he goes. And then sends him to a universe where his wife is still alive. And apparently, as soon as he gets there, a dog gets hit by a car. So he has to take the dog into an animal hospital, and then he meets the woman again. And then it shows the Jet Li fighting on the fucking hill, zooms out, boom, end of movie. And that's that. That's the movie. So.
Hey, hey, but think about it though. How many times has that incident happened though?
Well, that's the question, right?
That could have been infinite.
Universes, and you mean to tell me that they're all exactly the same? With just details about how things are made are different?
Because that incident happened twice. So the dog get hit by the car in the beginning and the end. So that could have happened millions of times, bro.
Well, not millions, 125.
125.
Right, but again, Jason Statham stated himself. He's like, yeah, there's one universe where you're gay. There's one universe where you don't exist. There's one universe where you're with her. There's a universe where you're not with her. Right. So there is multiple universes because think about it. The criminal, he had the same woman, right? That was his lady because she was blowing kisses at him and shit. So there is a connection between those two characters. So Jason Statham must have just sent him to a universe that Jet Li was killed but didn't interact with her. Yeah, right? So then sends him to that universe, he meets her, yada yada, and then there you go.
But then he has a whole other problem in his hands. How is he alive?
Well, she doesn't know he's dead, right? So he basically has to make up a new fake life, right?
Fact.
We don't know what dimension he got sent to, but from what we know, that version of Jet Li is dead.
Fact.
So
that's wild,
right? So yeah, it's I don't know. This movie was kind of wasn't the greatest.
It wasn't.
I remember it being fucking great back in the day.
Facts, I thought shit was fucking godly.
Right? Yeah, man. So now we're gonna get into the good, the bad, and the meh. And John, I'm gonna let you start it off.
Okay, let me start. Okay. Let me see. My good. I think the good for this movie, for me, was the soundtrack.
Bastard, you stole my good. That's my good as well.
What?
The soundtrack for this shit was so good.
That was the only thing that was good about this movie.
What?
I think there was some good action sequences when they weren't overly
Soundtrack.
Oh
doing the
yeah.
CG slow motion.
No, I gotta beef with that. But so what's your
I
what's
think the good coordinated fight at the end between Jet Li and not Jet Li.
Bullshit.
The,
what?
That was some
Okay,
on the
whatever.
ass.
Oh, yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that and the bad. Don't worry about that. Okay, so what's
the bridge fight was okay. It wasn't terrible. Everything else, slow motion and interacting.
Okay.
it was like a Zack Snyder movie, man. Okay, so Ice, what was your good about this movie? What did you like about this movie?
Uh, uh,
And say nothing.
I can't say nothing.
No, you can. You can. You can. You totally can. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. It was just like, like the movies now compared to this is this is ass cheeks.
Yeah.
This is ass cheeks.
Okay.
The fighting scenes. The
So you don't have. So
no,
you don't have a good.
no, I don't have a
No
good.
good.
I don't
Okay.
have no
All right.
good.
Okay. All right. Okay. So my meh, the meh for me is the story. Like like the concept is great. Like I feel like they could make an amazing movie with the concept, but the story, just this one was pretty shit. And the movie was pretty short, so I think that might be why. But like they could have done so much more cool shit. I would have liked to see him kill a couple more Jet Lis, right? But
This movie had the
the
potential
concept
for
is
another
still
hour.
good.
This
What?
movie had the potential for a whole other hour that could have made the movie a lot better.
Yeah.
If they
Right.
added
So that's
another hour of story, it would have made much more. It felt like it was too fast.
yeah. I felt like I watched 2 episodes of a TV show.
Well, you got an
Um,
hour and 28 minutes, or like an hour and 38 minutes or something, right? If you figure
yeah.
every movie is broken into three parts,
Next
you get
time on Dragon Ball
8
Z.
yeah, right. They're still fighting on the bridge in episode 3.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So 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 what's your meh, Ice?
My man is I would say the like like the I'll say the when he was fighting the cops. He was fighting the cops. It was you know it was alright. You know the little slow motion and everything. It was alright. You know.
At the at the beginning it wasn't
Yeah,
bad,
yeah, yeah. At the beginning,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then
At the beginning.
but yeah.
Got tiresome really quick.
We're down We're downhill
So
from there. It's good.
what about you, John?
My meh was that fucking gas station attendant scene. It didn't need to happen. That
That is true.
entire
That really
5
was
minutes of that whole scene, him
was
going up, "Sir, permission to speak." Shut up. Don't
yeah.
bother. That's a waste of talent from 2 great actors who got paid time to add a conversation with a guy in another universe that didn't need to happen. "I'm gonna go do right now."
I mean,
Shut up and go do right now. You don't
at
have to
that
tell
time,
us.
at that time, he wasn't as a badass as he is now, man. I
I
mean,
mean, yes, the movie was 21 years ago, but he was still for what it is, for the acting talent, there's
yeah.
no question. All good actors,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
but that was a waste of their talent. That 5 minutes, "I'm gonna kick a pole now." Ugh! Like,
Yeah, no, that whole scene was pretty lame. Okay, so then now what was the bad for you, Ice?
Oh man, that the when the two Jet Lis were fighting, bro, and he kicked them off the freaking like he kicked him off the rail, and like you could, like, bro, I can visually see a string flipping him and landing him on the ground.
Okay.
That shit was trash. That shit was trash. And then he was supposed to do like a upper kick with to his feet, bro. Like like I could visually see like him taking two plastic legs and hit himself in the face.
So you're saying
It
okay,
was
I got
trash,
you, I
bro. It
got
was
you.
trash.
So what about you? What about you?
My bad. I I hate to say it, but the fact that they had to kill the wife to get him to get pissed off enough to want to defend himself, basically. Like, really? You couldn't just be mad at the fact that he was fucking trying to kill you and all the people around you? That wasn't good enough?
Well, he
You
needed some inspiration. You know what I mean? Like,
had
yeah,
inspiration.
he was defending himself, but
Yes,
but it just all that did was motivate him to kill him, which he didn't do anyways. So
exactly. So it's fucking bad.
I guess, yeah. Okay. Well, y'all ready for my bad?
Yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think y'all.
You're gonna
Okay.
say the whole thing.
The martial arts.
Oh yeah.
The martial arts was terrible in this movie. Like, yeah, they had a couple cool things, but like realistically, is stupid as shit. Like the whole end fight scene was
Yeah,
garbage.
yeah.
Like that was terrible. Like that
That was a
probably one of the
bad
worst
ending.
worst Jet Li things I've ever seen in my life. Like I used to love this man, but now I'm like second guessing all the old movies that I used to watch. Now we're gonna have to go back and watch a bunch of Jet Li movies and make sure. Like you remember that one where he wore like the dog collar and you took it off and he would snap and just fucking beat the shit out of everybody. Like I'd have to rewatch that movie, make sure it's still as good as I remember it. Yeah, I watched Romeo Must Die like
Oh, with DMX?
yeah recently like within the last few months
Wait, no, that's
and
not. That wasn't
it
Romeo.
wasn't bad.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
They're in.
DMX.
He's
That's
in.
from Tales
It's
of
a
the Grave.
cradle. It's a Cradle to the Grave and Romeo Must Die. They're
Oh, he
both.
did it. Oh, okay. Okay.
But DMX was the main character in Cradle to the Grave. He was like a side character. It was Aaliyah. Aaliyah was the main character.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because they had like the whole the Romeo and Juliet thing with the triads and then the gang, right? So you had I think it was Aaliyah from the gang and Jet Li from the triads. Okay, so with that being said, did you guys like the movie? It is definitely a no for me. Did not enjoy this movie because it ruined all nostalgia I had for it.
Yeah, same here, man.
I didn't hate it, but it's definitely not on my rewatch again list.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not on top of my list no more. It's not.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, so now it's time for John's highlights.
The highlights were for 2001. I don't remember shit from 2001 without actually seeing dates and remembering movies. But I can say that 21 years ago, the CGI didn't look terrible. It didn't look great. It didn't look great, but it definitely holds up a little bit better than some of the other CGI from way back when.
So, what are you giving your highlight scene?
Uh, my highlight scene. I think the hospital fight near the MRI machine.
Okay,
I feel like
that one wasn't bad because there wasn't much like CGI and fast motion nonsense.
there was a little bit more realism with the whole MRI machine pulling the gun because it's a gigantic ass magnet. It had a
Yeah.
little bit of comedic delivery when Delroy knocked out the doctor because he wouldn't let him go. And then he said, "Be still." That I actually giggled pretty hard when he said that. So yeah, I think that's my highlight. That scene would be the one that I can find most memorable.
Okay. Okay.
What about Zach's letdown?
Well, I definitely have to say the final battle final battle, hands down, biggest letdown of the whole movie. You know what I
Indeed.
mean?
They
It's
could have
like,
done something else, man.
yeah, right? Like, come on, guys. Like, you could have. I know you have to try and like hide the dude's face, but like, it's Jet Li. He knows how to fight, and I'm sure they could have found. I'm sure his stunt double also knows how to fight, so they could have been fine. You know what I mean? Just having a normal fight. They were both superpowered. We didn't need to see the superpowers because they're equal. So they could have just had a normal fight, and we could have just imagined they were fighting at super speed and hitting each other really, really hard. But it could have just been
Yeah.
like nothing. They're both the same, right? So that's my biggest letdown. I thought that was one of the worst fight scenes I've ever seen Jet Li in, and it was like
This is
terrible,
damn
terrible. That
bad.
that that is my letdown scene. The whole that whole fight scene, garbage. Why
It's
did you have to hold your breath for 20 seconds?
like
Explain.
Give us a whole additional hour of story. Get rid of the unnecessary fridging of the wife. I think we could have got a much better movie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
All right, Ice. You can either pick a highlight or a letdown.
Uh, well,
Bring balance as the movie suggests.
okay. Highlight and a letdown. All right. Uh, my highlight is when the cop when the cop caught the knife with his two fingers.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that was pretty fucking cool. That's my highlight, and
What about
my
the
letdown. Uh, I would say that when they both fought in the boiler room at the end, yeah,
yeah.
that was a big letdown for me. I wasn't excited at all. Uh,
I was excited, and then they started fighting, and I got very unexcited very quickly.
facts. It was like that. I was excited, but then I was like, nah. Some of this stuff, some of the punches they threw and some of the kicks and stuff, they could have done without. So
You could tell they weren't punching a person at times.
yeah, it's like, come on, man. Yeah, yeah,
For sure.
that's pretty
For sure.
pretty much a letdown.
So,
That's
all
it.
right. So John,
What up, dog?
what's our next movie?
Next week we're going to talk about a movie from 2012. So we're going to jump about 11 years ahead of this one, and we're going to check out Lawless. Lawless
Oh,
was 2012, and it had Shia LaBeouf,
Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy, and I can't remember the other brother right now. But it was a great movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I think you guys, I think you would actually enjoy it quite a bit too if you haven't seen it. I found it to be apparently a little bit more enjoyable than what Rotten Tomatoes did.
Okay. Okay. Well, it has a 98% match for me to watch, so I'll
Yeah,
be interested. I'll be pretty interested in that.
Prohibition, Moonshine, Outlaws, Renegades. I
I
believe
don't like.
it's
I
20s or
don't mind.
30s.
I don't mind Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy. So it'll be interesting.
Indeed.
It'll be interesting.
All right, and now it's time for recommendations. First and foremost, as we will probably do for the entirety of this podcast, we're going to talk about the Dynamic Duel podcast. Um, they're our guiding light. They're the people that brought us into this world, so to speak. We followed them maybe from the beginning. For you, Zach, I started a little bit late, but I've listened to damn near every episode. There's a couple that I've skipped because I haven't seen the media involved, but um, I can't say that I can't recommend them for any reason. They banter and it's fun. They review movies and they make it enjoyable. They have these battles that are just absolutely sometimes really incredible to even just close
Hilarious.
your eye. Well, yeah, the way they deliver these battles, like they're funny, but they're also really intense. and you can almost visualize it if you know the characters, and if you have listened to the battle, you'll know the characters pretty well because they give you such a diverse spectrum of both the characters that you're battling with. But yeah, the Dynamic Duel podcast. The website is dynamicduel.com. And yeah, I can't really say much more about them myself. What about you, Zach?
Um, yeah, basically check out their website, right? Um, and yeah, just check them out. Great podcast. It's actually what brought me and John together. Um, I've probably listened to them about half of their lifespan, maybe 3 years, right? So,
Yeah, they've got
but
6 years now this year, right?
I think so, yeah. So I'm about the halfway point. But I mean, great bunch of guys. The Discord we have with everybody, it's great, you know. So yeah, check them out, dynamicduel.com.
And now I have a recommendation. I recommended NADPOD last week, and I do love them greatly. But there's another tabletop RPG podcast that I really enjoy. That's called the League of Ultimate Questing podcast, LUQ for short. It's similar in the nature that it's a comedic Dungeons and Dragons podcast, but it's got this episodic way of delivering a story that isn't fantastical in the sense that you can't relate to it. You can sort of get yourself in with some of the characters almost more personally. And I have found myself having gone through their entire library of I I want to say 200 episodes or in or around of that number, anyways. And it's still growing. They've got a great popular fan base and a great following. So yeah, I would check them out too if you're into that kind of thing. The LUQ podcast.
Dope. Dope. Um, yeah, so for me, I'm actually gonna be shouting out my little brother's custom sneaker company. He customizes people's shoes,
Oh,
and yeah, he does some pretty dope things. Like I don't know if you can see in the back there, right there, right? You see those
it's
like
all
little
light, it's all lit up.
those little Nike symbols.
Oh, yeah, I kind of see it now. Yeah,
I can grab them. Yeah.
yeah, of course, definitely. We definitely want to see what it looks like. I mean, no better way to advertise a product.
Yeah. So see this here?
Yeah.
Like this was an all black shoe, and yeah. So my brother, like, this is one of his first projects, and it's actually like really good. You know what I mean?
But
So he customizes shoes, and as you can see, he put the little Batgirl symbol. So he'll do whatever you want, right? Company's Sneakers by JSH. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, right? And yeah, but for the most part, that's for people in Canada. But I mean, I'm sure you can make a deal with them.
Hey, international shipping isn't that expensive down to the North American area.
No, and yeah, and he'll even like he'll buy the shoes and then he'll just charge you what he paid for the shoes plus, the customization, right? So you don't even have to go and send him the shoes. He can get them for you.
oh shit.
Just
Okay.
Yeah, you just tell him what size, what type of shoe, you know what I mean? And then basically you guys would just have a back and forth and make your own custom shoe, right? Look at how cute
Those are
this
dope.
is.
Those are
That's
really dope.
fire. Those are fire. Okay.
So, yeah, that's my recommendation. So check it out. Sneakers by JSH.
Nike's over here like, thanks for the free plug, no name. All right, Iceman, what you got? You got a recommendation, or you just want to plug yourself?
I'm gonna plug myself. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yo, my name is SG Iceman. My YouTube is at SG Iceman. You feel me? And go subscribe, like, and comment on any video you find interesting. And if you like the content, I will do more. You feel me? And that is it.
Shout out your TikTok.
My TikTok is at um SG Iceman. It's also at SG Iceman. You feel me? And my Instagram is at Calvin 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 underscore A underscore K underscore E, and that is my Instagram. Um, yeah, that is it. That's all I got for y'all. You feel me?
Hit up his YouTube. Hit up his YouTube comments. Let him know what games you want to see him play.
Facts.
Minecraft.
You're not playing
Minecraft.
Minecraft. I will do anything
Good,
except for Minecraft. Just pick anything.
good, 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 good video games.
Good
Not
video game.
games for children. And Paris.
Japan. Paris. Paris.
But yeah, so all right. So yeah, check him out. SGX Iceman on YouTube.
Facts. SGX
You keep
Iceman. I keep saying
you
SG Iceman.
yeah, you keep forgetting the X.
Yeah, man. Yeah, X.
We're like,
Yes.
where is this guy that we really want to follow?
SGX Iceman. Yes. YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate y'all support. And hope I see comments, more likes, more views,
Oh, you never know.
You never know, man,
Yeah, no, and for sure we'll definitely have you back. You know what I mean? Our
Indeed.
first guest, you know what I mean? Definitely it's not gonna
Hey, it's
be
an honor, you feel me? First guest. Hey, man. You remember this one.
right. So yeah, so you know what I mean. You'll definitely be coming back for more stuff. You're definitely gonna be one of our podcast OGs. You know what I mean? So
Thanks. Podcast.
it
Oh,
would
gee.
we'll definitely have you back, and we definitely appreciate you coming out and watching this garbage ass movie with us.
Indeed. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Wasting 98 minutes of your life in response to a text and or phone call saying, "Can you watch a movie and talk about it with a couple of guys?"
But yeah, so
Indeed.
yeah, thanks again, dude, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely have you back.
All right.
All right, John.
Well, it's been it's been it's been real, REEL, real. And I think that I'm glad that pun put you to shame. So glad that it hurt your brain.
I have to say, I seen it coming.
Did you?
Oh my
I
God.
did.
Oh
I
my
did.
goodness.
Did you? Look at you. You've got yourself
Oh my
rolling.
God.
It's been real. We hope we'll get to be seeing you again soon.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully this gets around and people start talking us up once we actually put them out.
All right.
For sure.
So, until next time,
Till next time.
Deuces.
Deuces.
deuces.